Welcome back to Suzy's Journey. In this episode, I wanted to share with you some thoughts that I had. So, I couldn't sleep last night, and something that some of you may know about me and some of you may not is that I struggled for many, many years, 10 plus years, with insomnia. It was something that I would wake up in the middle of the night and then I couldn't go back to sleep. Partly that was due to the trauma that I had experienced when I was in the army in Iraq. And part of it, I believe, was contributed through my thought process. So I would wake up with a lot of racing thoughts, things that I wanted to accomplish, or things that I was trying to troubleshoot, or ideas that I had that I couldn't get out of my head. Any of this resonating with anybody? Yeah, as entrepreneurs, we have so many ideas floating through our heads that a lot of times we can't stop them and it can keep us up. So I've been up every 2 hours over the course of last night, and I woke up at 3 o'clock this morning and couldn't go back to sleep. So I thought, something that was going on in my head that I wanted to share with you guys is how unique we are as individuals. And when my thoughts are racing, I never know where they're going to go. And for some reason, my thoughts went to when I was younger. I grew up in a small town in Alaska, Juneau, Alaska, and I worked for a grocery store through my teenage years. I was there for 5 years. And for some reason, I was thinking about this morning, and it just came into my head, and I thought, why is this happening? So again, I got curious and just asked myself, what is it that you're trying to learn from this thought that you're having about working at the grocery store? And it came to me that when I worked there, I was a cashier. I did lots of things. I worked in the bakery. I was a cashier. I did stocking. I was a front end manager. I did a lot of things in the 5 years I was there. But one thing that stood out to me was when I was a cashier, I would look over and I'd see this big long line of people that were standing waiting to go through my checkout. And I'd look around and there would be other cashiers that weren't working. They weren't busy. And I was like, why are these people waiting in line? They don't have to wait in line. There's other people that can help them. And so there was a couple that used to come through all the time. And I asked them one day, I said, why is it that you guys wait in line when you don't have to? And the lady said to me, she said, we really like coming to you. We like talking to you. We like how you work. And we just want to see you. So this morning it hit me because I tell my clients this all the time, and I've shared it on the podcast. We are all unique, each and every one of us. There's no two people that are like me. There's no two people that are like you. You're an individual, and people want to talk to you. People want to be a part of your life. When you're starting a business, one of the things that you want to think about is setting yourself apart. How are you different? And so it got me to thinking that I remember talking to the other cashiers and having a conversation with them and saying, do you have people that come through your line that always come through your line? And it was hands down, other cashiers were saying the same thing. So it wasn't that I was special. I mean, I was to the people that were coming through apparently, but we all did the same job. It was no different. But people gravitated to the cashier that they liked doing business with. They gravitated to the person they wanted to have a conversation with while they were checking their groceries out. They gravitated to the people that they wanted to be around. And so I wasn't any better than anybody else. I was just being me, and they were being them. So the cashiers that had other people that would come through, and there were people that I would say, hey, can I help you? And they'd say, no, I'm fine. I'm going to wait. Because they wanted to talk to that person that was working at that cash register. So I say all this to you because it was a huge aha moment for me this morning. That be you. There are people out there that are looking for you and what you have to offer the world. So as you're thinking about what you're doing for your business, if you're shifting in your business and you're trying something new, just keep reminding yourself that The special thing that you have that's different than anybody else is you. You are what's different. And so there can be, like I said, there were 10 cashiers and we could have all the checkouts going at the same time. But each of us would have the customers come through that wanted to see us. And it wasn't always that way, but that was the common thing. And it was a small town. So we knew each other. Everybody knew everybody, and it was comfortable. So what I'm going to say to you is in this day and age with all of the technology we have, and we're global. I just did a podcast with someone in Australia. We can do anything anywhere. And the internet is full of noise. It's loud and there's a lot there. So how are people going to find you? We're not in a small town in Alaska where everybody knows everybody. So I'm going to challenge you. The takeaway from this episode is to sit down for a minute and ask yourself, how are you different? What makes you unique? And just list as many things as you can think of. And it's going to come from your life experiences. It's going to come from how you talk to people, what it is that you enjoy, because you may have a conversation with somebody about a hobby or something that you love. I'll give you an example. I love animals and I love horses specifically. So I may have a conversation with people about horses and just love it. And there may be people out there that don't want to hear about horses. They're like, I'm not interested. So I'm not going to draw those people, but I will draw the people who like horses and want to talk about horses. So there's all kinds of things that you can list about yourself. Personal, your values. What do you value in life? What are you interested in? What do you like to do? What have you learned? What's your background? All kinds of cool things that make you different. And even the negative things. So even traumatic experiences that you've been through. There's people out there that need somebody that can have empathy, that understands some of the challenges that we face in life. So sharing those is important. That's why I shared with you my insomnia, because there's people out there listening. I guarantee you there's people out here listening to this podcast that go, oh my gosh, I have insomnia too. I totally get it. Because we're all connected just in our own individual ways. So hopefully this episode has given you something to think about and to really embrace you, really embrace who you are and what you have to offer the world. So as always, keep it simple.